This is a 2015 Broom 370. It's quite an unusual boat compared to what we normally have on the channel because it's an aft cabin layout. I'm going to take you on board and explain to you exactly what I mean. It's a very nice boat. Broom do build a very high quality boat. So we'll step on this side. Now with this one, rather than walking straight into the cockpit, we go up these steps and the cockpit is actually up on top of the aft deck. But what I'm going to do, just to shake things up a little bit, is take you for a walk around the outside first of all. So have a look at the decks and I'll show you the way in. So up here you'll notice that the helm is actually back on that aft deck. So it's not a flybridge boat. That would put the helm station up on the top here. You actually drive it from back there, and I will explain why that is a good thing when we go inside. Let's come right up to the front. We've got obviously the coach roof here, fender storage. These are fenders in here of course. And then right up to the front you've got the anchor winch and your anchor controls, and the anchor chain locker is in there. But let's go back down this side. It's a very easy boat to move around. And notice it has things like these little chain link sections here, so you can step on and off halfway down the boat. That's because these are really popular on inland riverways and canals and that kind of thing, and it makes it very easy to step on the side of the boat if you're going to a lock, for example. And then here we have these sliding doors. You can see it in fact just here. I'll pull that back. There we go, and then that slides away again like that. We'll zip that up, and this is this raised aft deck. So you've got a seating area around the back, and as I say, rather than going up to the flybridge, the helm is here. There are a couple of advantages to that. Firstly, it reduces the height of the boat, which is very important if you're inland for going underneath bridges, and it also means it's much more sheltered because you can put this big windscreen in around here. And in fact you'll notice over here that this radar arch is on hinges. You can see them just there, and this section here undoes, and the reason for that is so that you can drop this whole arch back, and that lowers the air draft again. So if you want to get into lower bridges, you can do. But also it means that you can really protect this whole area. You've got the big windscreen around it, you've got the canopies over it, so unlike a flybridge, which is really only for fine days, on this you can drive the boat here when the weather's not so nice. Big wipers on there as well. Double helm here, and then this backrest will drop the other way, so that if you are just socialising on here, you're not actually underway, then you can increase this space for people to gather. Let's drop that one back. Now this little fellow over here that looks like a little model of a boat, it's effectively what it is. It's a bow and stern thruster, and you imagine that's the shape of your boat, and you push this the way that you want the boat to actually go. So push the bow that way and the bow will move across, push the stern that way. It's all done by thrusters, or push the whole boat sideways and it'll go sideways. Very useful thing to have. Throttle control is here. You've got navigation on here. I'm talking about rivers, but in fact there's no reason at all why you can't take this boat to sea. So hence it has got the proper navigation kit on there for that as well. And then engine instrumentation is across the front. Now another advantage with putting the helm here and having it well protected is it means you don't need an internal helm position. And so when we head down into the cabin, you'll see this is all leisure space. There's no helm down here, and that works very well because it gives plenty of room. And I like this Shalon they put down here. What a great place to, as we like to say, tuck yourself away with a good book. But it is, isn't it? That'd be lovely. Very nice. TV, it's a pop-up TV of course, so that will retract out of the way if you don't want it there. And you've got skylights in the ceiling, so you can get more light into here just by sliding these blinds back. In fact, that's a mosquito net. And you can come back and you can open those for more ventilation if you want it. I'll close that back up for now. Leave it as I found it. Let's head on forwards first of all. So your galley is down here. It's actually a pretty decent size. And it's gas burner on this one, and a gas oven and grill as well. Fridge is in here, sink of course, has got a microwave, that's over there, and then this is all storage in places like this. And opposite this then is the heads, that's in here. And there's a shower, as you can see, as well. So that's basically like a wet room, effectively. You can see there's a drain in the floor. And up ahead of this is a cabin with V beds. decent size. You've got that hatch up above, and then of course there are things like storage on that side, and similar sort of thing behind us then as a hanging locker. However, the big news, literally, with an aft cabin boat as this is the aft cabin. Now bear in mind, this is 37 foot long, and come and take a look at this. Because this is the master cabin, it's completely separate at the other end of the boat, so again, great from a privacy point of view. And there it is. That is what is under that aft deck. And it's fantastic. There's big windows right across the back. The blinds are down at the minute, but you can have that so that you've got a view out across the water behind the bed. This is all storage along here. So in behind thusly, and the same there of course. And then you've got hanging wardrobe in behind here. That is a great cabin, isn't it? And as you'd expect, it's got its own ensuite. So you really are completely self-contained in here. That's fantastic. Close that back up. For a 37-foot boat, the accommodation is superb because we're right at the back of the boat now. The bathing platform, whether we can see it in fact, is just out through there. So it does provide pretty much the maximum space you can get within that sub 40-foot length. Very good indeed. Now I mentioned these are popular on rivers and estuaries. This particular boat is fitted with a single engine. Again, no problem at all to go to sea with it. But because you often find these on the river, people don't want twin engines. And so a single is perfectly sufficient. Now to get to it, you need to get this floor up, which we're not going to do. And what we will do is just lift one access hatch so that we can see it. And that's underneath here. There we go. So as I say, you can get the rest of this up and get to this properly. And in fact, because it's a single engine, there's a lot of room around it on both sides. This is a Volvo Penta, it's a D6 370. It's going to give the boat flat out probably about 20 knots in fact. So I keep talking about being great for inland waterways and rivers and so on, and it really is. But there's no reason at all why you couldn't take this to sea with that engine. That would be more than sufficient. Superb. Let's drop that back down. And we'll put that back where we found it. And bring that back. And I'm going to try out this Shalong. Shalong? Shalong. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm sure somebody will tell me if I'm wrong. They normally do. There we go. That is the Broom 370. I think that's lovely. Hope you've enjoyed that tour. Huge thanks to boats.co.uk. They got this one for sale. And I'll put a link to them in the description. And we'll look forward to catching you on another one very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.